Here's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. A look at this week's headlines.
Mall giants bear plans for market development. City Council summons Vista Land. Stop tree cutting, Council asks. DOH car notes increase in COVID cases. Army honors slain Cordilleran soldier. Elders' inclusion in new normal learning pressed. Benguet COVID cases down. And Disaster Month celebration focus on hydromet hazards.
And for the details. The plans of SM Prime Holdings Incorporated and Robinsons Corporation were presented to the City Council this week, bearing a 50-year lease for the Baguio City Market if one of the deals pushes through. This report from Maria Elena Catahan.
City Administrator Bonifacio de la Peña said the unsolicited proposals given by the mall giants will take into priority interests of over 3,000 legitimate vendors in the city market. Costing 5.4 billion pesos, SM Prime Holdings proposes to build a 7-story building that will take 2.5 years to build, while Robinsons Corporation's project proposes to construct 2 buildings that will take 4 years to construct. De la Peña said there will be zero to minimal competition of goods from vendors to mall stalls to give local sellers the spotlight in selling local goods. Mayor Benjamin Magalong stated with the market development in full throttle, the problem of subleasing at the market can now be addressed. An awarding or a selection can only happen after confirmation by the City Council. Maria Elena Catahan, SunStar Baguio.
The Baguio City Council is inviting Villar-led Vista Residences Incorporated in a bid to detail events leading to the cutting of 54 trees on Outlook Drive. Maria Elena Catahan returns.
The move was made to aid legislation of the City Council, which includes the DNR Cordillera, officials in Outlook Barangay, and offices in the local government unit to shed light on the cutting of the trees. Councilor Arthur Eladio said Vista Residences started cutting the 54 trees on June 20 and 21 while the city was still under quarantine. He added there is also a strong clamor from various sectors for the city government to act on the cutting of the trees. In the midst of a pandemic, a special private land timber permit was granted Vista Residences Incorporated, allowing the cutting of the trees. Seedlings to be turned over by Vista Corporation have now reached 10,800. Maria Elena Catahan, SunStar Baguio.
Councilor Levi Lloyd Orcales has requested the Office of the President for the issuance of an executive order on a moratorium for tree cutting.
The alderman said the youth of Baguio, with all its people, denounces the blatant disregard to the value of trees to the people. Last week, Vista Land Residences Incorporated felled 54 fully grown trees to give way to a high-rise development. This week, the Philippine Military Academy also started to cut 53 trees in its area for a new building. The resolution stated a report from a team commissioned to study the city's urban carrying capacity indicates that its current tree population is insufficient for its population of 350,000 residents.
Orcales added that in October 2019, through the leadership of Mayor Benjamin Magalong, Malacanang approved in principle the city's proposed 1-year moratoria on new commercial building and on tree cutting to allow the city's environment to recover. A 3% increase in the number of COVID-19 cases from June 23 to 30 was recorded in the Cordillera region. This report from Jonathan Yanes.
Dr. Amelita Pangilinan, Regional Director of the Department of Health, said Cordillera recorded 113 confirmed cases, having 2 deaths, with a case fatality rate of 2%. Baguio City still has the highest number of confirmed cases with 46, Benguet with 37, Abra and Apayao have 8 each, Kalinga with 7, Ifugao with 6, and Mountain Province with 1. Pangilinan stated the region's incident rate stands at 7 per 100,000 population, while the present critical utilization rate is at 29.55% classified as moderate risk. She reminded the public to constantly practice the minimum health standards to prevent the spread of the virus despite changes in the quarantine status and until a vaccine is found to treat coronavirus or COVID-19. Jonathan Llanes, SunStar Baguio.
The remains of 3 of 4 soldiers, including Major Marvin Indammog from Kalinga, who were killed by fellow lawmen in what appeared to be an incident of lack of coordination in Jolo, Sulu, arrived at the Villamor Air Base in Pasay City on Tuesday. This report from Loren Alimondo.
The Air Force plane and steel caskets bearing the remains of Indammog, Captain Erwin Managelod, Sergeant Jaime Velasco were given full military arrival honors in Pasay City, while the burial rites of another fallen soldier, Corporal Abdal Asula, will be held in Sulu. The Philippine Army in a statement said, on Monday afternoon, a military intelligence team on a trail of Abu Sayyaf members, bomb makers and suicide bombers in Sulu were flagged down by personnel of the Jolo Municipal Station who were manning a checkpoint. Even after properly identifying themselves, the police personnel approached and fired them for unknown reasons. As AFP demanded a full-blown investigation to be conducted on the death of the 4 soldiers, Philippine National Police Forces said they are open to an investigation and to any charges that may be filed against the police personnel involved. The National Bureau of Investigation was also asked to conduct an impartial probe into the incident. Lord Alamondo, SunStar Baguio.
Councilor Betty Lourdes Tabanda is asking the Department of Education in the Cordillera and the City's Social Welfare and Development Office to involve the elderly in the new learning modes. This report from Jeannie Cole Cortez.
Tabanda said the present health crisis gave rise to the transition of the traditional face-to-face classes to the new learning modes, as classroom will be transformed to a learning environment where the teacher is physically separated from the learner. Tabanda explained there are elderly members of the family and the community that are still mentally alert and physically capable to mentor despite their advanced age. The resolution was also made seeing there are parents who are forced by circumstances to delegate a guardian or a relative to act on their behalf, with working parents usually have very limited or no time at all to coach their children in school activities. The resolution was approved during Monday's regular session. Nicole Cortez, SunStar Baguio.
Only 5 active cases are monitored in Benguet since it was placed on general community quarantine by the National Interagency Task Force on COVID-19. Loren Alimondo returns.
The latest COVID-19 confirmed patient in Benguet as of Thursday involved a 34-year-old male construction worker from Saudi Arabia and a resident of Kilometer 21 in Tublay. He is the 39th COVID-19 confirmed patient in the province and has been asymptomatic of the virus. On July 1, the province sent home 2 frontliners from Kapangan and Bugyas after having negative test results for COVID-19, and on June 29, 6 new recoveries were recorded. Governor Melchor Diclas said patients, which include frontline workers, were ferried by the respective LGUs, where they will be isolated for another 14 days before going back to their respective duties. Lauren Alamondo, SunStar Baguio.
This year's National Disaster Preparedness Month will focus on addressing hydrometeorological hazards in the region during the typhoon season. This report from Joven Peralta.
Albert Mogol, chairman of the Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, pointed out the importance of having contingency plans for various situations in the region, such as the Consequence Management Plan for Terrorism and the ongoing Cordillera Response Plan for pandemics and emerging infectious diseases. He added, they are currently working on a regional plan for hydrometeorological hazards that has components starting with hydrometeorological devices in hard-hit areas in the Philippines through the installation of automated rain gauges and water level monitoring stations in the region that will provide a better picture of the region's surface water in relation to flooding. CDRRMC also reminded the public to always be informed of announcements given by the national government on the incoming typhoons and impending disasters through the emergency broadcast system to increase the level of awareness. Joven Peralta, SunStar Baguio.
And that's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. For more updates, visit us at our website. and our official social media accounts. Till next weekend, this is Comic Copas, reminding you to grab a copy of SunStar Baguio, the only daily newspaper in Northern Luzon.